I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Vagina.
Nerdrotic.com.
What up, my Nooners? So many of you out there. Hope we have a really good time today. Hope we have a really good time. It's weird having people in the chat that are in my house. The call is coming from the house. What's up, Kara? What's up, Mark? What's up, Modrotics? What's up, people of both genders? Of both genders. Joe Dog, Piddly Widdly, King Orso, Gus Gus, Unnigzone. Is that like Latinx? James Hurley, Rolling Chairs, Horny Alf, always horny. You know, it's been over 4 hours, brother. You might want to call a doctor. Somebody call me a doctor. Listen to Ozzy's Boneyard on the way down in my 20-hour drive. Well, I listened to the entire EFAP. I listened to both of Jeremy's emergency Cobra casts. One of them about him fighting with some chick who gets her tits out or fighting with her. And then they like kind of became friends at the end, which is the beauty of the internet. But I listen to a lot of shit, but I listen to Ozzy's Boneyard. Lots of Van Halen. Lots of Van Halen being played on that. I might have softened up on a couple of Van Hagar songs. I think I have. I hated Van Hagar when it came out. I fucking hated it. Corn Pops here. Scott Kerr. La James. Jinda Jiver. What's that mean? Hamdinger. Johnny Five. And Noons. Hello, lady. Nuratu the 7th. Seed. Subhuman 84 Subhuman. Subhumans, despite, you know, like they were one of my favorite punk rock bands, like ever. Full on anarchists who somehow meandered into communism. I don't know how that fucking happens, but that happened to a lot of punk rock bands. I was fine with the anarchy. Wasn't really down with the commie punks. I'm like, okay. You went from not wanting any government to wanting all the government. Admittedly, most of you can't play instruments, which is part of the appeal of punk rock. And you're all really fucking high on drugs. But yeah, Subhumans were fucking awesome. I love that band. From the Cradle to the Grave, a 16-minute song. That's the entire side of an album that I know every single word to. Freaking love that song. Mickey Mouse is Dead. Got kicked in the head. Classic. Time flies, but airplanes crash. It's another good EP right there. I got them all. Loved the Subhumans. I love punk rock music. Punk rock and metal were my thing. Thrash metal. I wasn't obviously I don't like Bon Jovi. I wasn't a big fan of the hair metal bands. Some of them very good. Some of them, you know, and I like them now. But like hair metal bands that I liked back in the day, it would be hard for me to pick one. I think I liked Cinderella's first album. Guns N' Roses, not a hair metal band. They kind of started that way, but they're not. They weren't. Early Motley Crue's okay. But I like thrash or British metal. Oh, I fucking love the Scorpions. I just saw the Scorpions, Scott, last year. Fucking front row. Got a tour behind the stage. Got to meet the band. Got some drumsticks. I was handed some. And then I caught some. But then I gave them to a kid who was standing behind me. Because he, you know, you see a little kid rocking out to the Scorpions. He's with his dad. I'm like, shit, you should have these. No, I don't like Dawkins. I know Razorfist loves Dawkins. I fucking do not like Dokken. I thought that was like really gay metal. I saw Dokken open for Aerosmith and I was like, good God. Like the guitar player was good, but no, I don't like Dokken. Not a Dokken fan. But a lot of people like him. That's fine. Saxon. Yeah, I like British. I loved Anthrax. Stormtroopers of Death. Can't play that shit today. Stormtroopers of Death and their classic album Speak English or Die. Play that one now. Woo! But I liked Anthrax a lot. Sammy Hagar. I don't hate Sammy Hagar. His restaurant Cabo Wabo is pretty good. I was a David Lee Roth fan. I love that crazy sumbitch. Napalm Death, yes. Skid Row. I like Skid Row. I did like Skid Row. 18 in Life, that's a fucking good song. Sepultura, yes. I like George Thorogood. I like old bluesy rock and roll too. Is SOD really getting back together? Like, are they going to go out and like play Speak English or not? But yeah, that's those were my jams. I love Rush. Who doesn't like? I am I'll say former drummer. I haven't played drums in a long time, but that was actually my first instrument was drums. Who doesn't like Neil Peart? May he rest in peace. Oh, what do we got to do today? Okay, we're gonna do some squaring up. We'll talk a little bit about Cat 4. I'm probably gonna do a video. It's gonna be a day late, maybe $1 short, but I kind of want to break down. I'll just give you a little tease. It's not about the movie flopping. It's about the collective memory of the media and Marvel stands being equal to or less than your average ostrich or goldfish. But a lot of it's disingenuous. And there is a lot of fuckery in the media, and we have talked about it on the entertainment side forever. But I've said this, Jeremy, Ryan, Az, Mahler, Drinker, we've all said there's a bigger picture here. There's always been a bigger picture here. You guys know this. There's always been a bigger picture here. So if they're just doing it with entertainment, what else are they doing it with? And they are lying to you. And that's why YouTubers exist. That's why TikTokers exist. That's why you guys are here, because you go, oh, they've always been full of shit. Holy cow. Now some of you go, I told you. And you're like, listen, I've for a very long time have thought the media was full of shit. But worse is when this was when I was high on drugs and I wasn't paying attention. I didn't care. I didn't fucking care. But once I started paying attention, because I used to wake up like back in the day when I was in my late 20s and stuff. I do my my working man's work, honest, good work, a job I was really proud to have. And fuck, if I have to, I could go back to it anytime I want, which is great to have a skill. Get up every morning. I'd flip on the news, and I'd flip it between. This is in the 90s when it was still the Clinton News Network, and then Fox, and then I'd watch BBC. So I'd, kind of flip around, and hopefully I felt like somewhere in there I was getting the truth. Turns out I wasn't getting it at all. I wasn't getting it at all. Gary, will I talk about, did Anthony Cumia doesn't, okay, I'm confused, James. Talk to me about this. Let me know in the chat. Getting his job back. He doesn't need his job back. He's got Compound uncensored. He's been doing his own thing forever. I was an early subscriber to Compound. We got to get Anthony back on. I fucking love Anthony. I know there's the Gavin, I always want to say Newsom, but it's McGinnis incident from FNT. But there's so much water under the bridge under that one. I would talk to him again. I talked to him afterwards on the phone. I did. Channel didn't get taken down. Could have. I mean, would I have him back on FNT again? No. No, because I don't trust him to not whip out his dick again. Okay, James, sorry. He got a terrestrial radio job in New York. Why would he go back to that? He did? Okay. I mean, that's what he is one of the best of all time. Anthony Cumia is one of the best of all time. Opie and Anthony, I know Opie's a fucking retard now. And he was never my favorite, but Opie and Anthony was such a good show in its day. It was legit competition to Howard Stern. I would say they were funnier than Howard Stern in a lot of cases. And because I was a working man, I was listening to all these radio shows and I had all that shit. But yeah, well, good for him. Congratulations. What about Compound Uncensored? Is he going to move back to New York? I thought he just moved to North Carolina. Jim Norton is a freak, but he's funny as fuck. Jim Norton's legit funny. Howard Stern was funny at one point. He was. He was. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but it turns out it was. The thing is, life reveals character. And Howard Stern was always fake. That's the disappointing part. It was funny back then, and it seemed like he was with the working man at the time, because that's what he was. He's become the Democrat Party. The Democratic Party likes to think that they were always about the working man. Now, I have never been a Democrat in my life, nor will I ever be. But that's what they like to think, that we were for the working man and the workers. They never were. They never, ever were. I love the Bernie Bros now, waking up to their hero being a fucking commie retard, sellout piece of shit. He always was that way. Sorry to inform you, some of the Bernie Bros out there who've gone to Trump. He was never a populist. He was a fucking fraud, a lazy piece of shit. Your typical commie. Didn't have a real job until he was 40. Always worked in government. Went to the fucking Russia on his fucking honeymoon. I mean, what gave it away that he's a commie? But I mean, Walter, I'm not mad at you. I'm not calling you out, because I think you're right in going, it has been so long, I can't even fucking remember. And by the way, I would never be mad at you. You can say what you want here. I can't even remember when Howard was funny. And that's a legit statement. I think that's a 100% legit statement. But no. Jackie the Joke Man. I mean, Howard, was Howard funny, or was it his crew? I think it was his crew. It was definitely his crew. But Howard was always a fraud. We see this on YouTube all the time. Look at all the Gamergate dudes. How many are still the way they were back then? Medicare, Sargon, Shoe. They Shoe's pretty consistent. And that's, I can't remember everybody from Gamergate. I was paying attention. I wasn't involved. I was definitely paying attention. But those are the three off the top of my head who are the way they were back then, have not changed at all. And we see that time and time and time again. Most of them end up did he? Oh, I remember Medicare talking about the jab, but I think he I don't know. He's been sick. I'm gonna give Medicare some grace on this. The man's been sick. Nobody's perfect. But yeah, most of them ended up like Jarbo. Sargon used to be way more anti-Christianity. Is he an atheist or a former atheist? Maybe he turned around. You know what? That's what it's all about. It's about, I hate the word converting. It sounds so authoritarian. Convincing. I'm not an atheist. I used to be. And it's okay if you are, but I'm not. Yes. Gamergate 1. We do have to talk about, because are we still in Gamergate 2? I think we kind of are, but it was a much, I would say, from just, obviously I'm I'm a fucking expert gamer, and I'm the expert in all this shit, and I am the final word on all of it. So I'm going to say that Gamergate 2 started by Dan Vask clipping an heel versus babyface live stream and then posting it on Twitter to guarantee that both of them wouldn't make a single penny off of the most viral video. It's got to be in the top 3 of 2023. It's fucking hilarious. I'd say that Gamergate 2 has been a swift and decisive victory. Swift and decisive victory. Gamergate 1 was a shit show that really had, despite it being about a chick fucking 5 guys for good reviews, it turned into, we need to start questioning the media. That's the baseline of it. So it did start something that was important. That's why the media still brings it up, because you started questioning our authority. Well, you never had any because you were liars. And it started bringing authenticity in. Now, okay, irony's not lost on me that most of the people in Gamergate were a bunch of fake motherfuckers too. So it was a bunch of fake motherfuckers calling out a bunch of fake motherfuckers. But the message was still there. The message was still there. We need authenticity. And it opened a lot of people's eyes. And they started looking at it in, it was happening before Gamergate, but there was Gamergate. There was the sad puppies. There was the customer movement portion of Comicsgate. Then there was Disney Star Wars. And now we have the I couldn't believe I heard this. The Prime Minister of Italy calling out woke culture and saying, and I'm paraphrasing what she said, but the last part I know she said, because this is shit I said, sacrificing traditional values on the altar of woke. And I'm like, what the fuck did she just say? Holy shit. And that's a good thing, media. And that's a good thing. I like that Italian prime minister. I do. Yeah, there's an altar, Johnny 5. I might have mentioned it in a few of my videos, sacrificing our beloved intellectual properties on the altar of agenda. Been saying that for many, many years. Many, many years. It's Georgia. It's Melania. Dude, when she's like going off in Italian, I can't understand a fucking word she said, but I'm like, I'm invested. Milani? Georgia. Yeah, she's fucking based. And Georgia Milani, thank you. And she likes Lord of the Rings. And they wrote articles about her going, well, obviously, J.R.R. Tolkien leads people to fascism and the alt-right. Oh, I have an alarm going off. Why 11:20? Who puts an alarm at 11:20? Me. And then I have no idea what it's for.
Could it be for coffee?
Oh my God, you're so fucking loud.
Sorry,
Jesus Christ, I can't hear anymore.
Sorry.
It might be for coffee. Oh, fuck. I'm deaf. What the hell? Now I can't see and I can't hear. Great. Oh, well. Oh, well. I can be Echo and Daredevil. Jesus Christ, Superstar. The all-female version with Nosferatu starring. 1775 Coffee is this show sponsor. Some coffee is weak. Some coffee is sad. Some coffee is so bad it probably votes Democrat, but 1775 Coffee, it's bold. It's strong. It's America first in every single cup. The dark roast hits harder than a trunk comeback. The medium roast, smooth, no bitterness, just like life before Bidenomics. And the Vitality Mushroom Blend fuels your brain like Trump at a debate. This is the coffee that patriots drink, that Rumble drinks, and that I drink. Small farms, small batches, roasted fresh in Miami every day. Miami, Florida, Miami, Ohio. I think there was a Miami in Missouri. Was it Missouri? Because your coffee should be fresher than a White House press briefing by trying to explain the economy. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Whole bean ground pods, they've got it all. Go to 1775coffee.com. Use code Nerdrotic for 15% off and to start every morning with coffee that actually stands up for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win the possibility of winning a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash, which, I mean, will come in handy for maintaining the Cybertruck. Listen, I want a Cybertruck. Go to 1775coffee.com/Nerdrotic. I pre-ordered a Cybertruck. My order came up. I could have bought one, and I saw the price, and I went, fuck no. $100,000 for a car? That is a down payment on a house. That is a down payment on a condo. I'll get one used. I'll get one used when it's like 40, when it's lost 40% of its value. It loses 30% the minute you drive it off the lot. $100,000? I don't know, man. 30% of its value is still 70,000. That's way above my limit. I drive a 2011 FJ Cruiser with 158,000 miles. And right now it's got a giant crack across my windshield because every time I go on a road trip, my windshield gets pummeled. It was covered in salt. Finally washed that off today from driving around in the snow. And I think I bought it because I like unusual looking cars. I don't buy cars. I buy trucks, SUVs. And they have to be kind of what you might consider ugly. I consider beautiful. Like I had a Honda Element. That's a pretty fucking ugly car. And I still own it, by the way, the Comic Outpost Mobile. I don't buy like normal cars because they're boring, because they're fucking boring. What did I pay for that one? In 2016, I think I paid $24,000 for it. It's paid off, by the way. Who wants a car payment for an electric car, by the way? I know people are all in on that. No, the one thing you will need with a Tesla of any kind is money for tires. Money for tires. That's right. They go through fucking tires like crazy. Crazy. And it has something to do with the electronic vehicle-ness of it. But when I worked at the Tesla maintenance facility in sunny San Rafael, California, I was fucking I was pulling tires all fucking day. It was good, like great exercise, but all day I was pulling tires. I think I could count on one hand how many times I pulled tire in a fucking month for Toyota. Tesla, lots of tires. Lots of tires. Honda Elements were cool. They're just CRVs with a box on top of them. That's all they were. But I have one with over 300,000 miles. It's on its third engine. I refuse to get rid of it because they're good dog cars. And they're good. My wife likes to thrift. And they're good for like just tootling around town and putting a button. And it was the Comic Outpost Mobile because I could fit 20 long boxes in the back. 20 long box, so I can do a little con. I could just throw everything in my car and go. Plus, it was an ugly car at the time, and then I put some advertising for my store on the side, just little magnets, and I got a bunch of customers from that. So look at the ugly car. Oh, it's a comic store. Other guerrilla marketing I did was I would go to every superhero movie opening night and pass out free comics without the theater's permission. I'd wait till I get inside, and me and a couple of employees would just start handing them out. Business card inside. Got a bunch of customers from that. Oh, I found a treasure trove of Comic Outpost pictures last night that I haven't seen in years, man. Years and years of signings and shit. Maybe I'll share them in the future. I got to kind of go through them. Lots of pictures of my kid when he was little and cute. All right. We're going to get to some squaring up. And I got Captain America real quick before we get to that. I'm probably I'm going to do a video. It flopped. It's going to be a flop. It is 100% going to be a flop. Disney has been lying to you. They will continue lying to you. They're using the access media to once again lie to you. And now more of you know it. More of you are aware. I mean, most people are not going to care like what the box office economics are, but like I've been into box office economics my entire life because I'm a fan of movies. And, you know, you guys know this, but a lot of people know this. They're just fucking lying knowingly. They know that the international ticket sales, the studios don't make a lot. 25% in China. In some places, it's 20%. In some places, it's 40%. Here in the States, it's 55 to 60%. Usually with Disney, they get to take home 60%. What is not included in every production budget is bonuses paid out to actors, bonuses paid out to directors, bonuses paid out to producers. And it's also, we really don't know the marketing budgets. There's been a false narrative pushed by Culture Crave, a piece of shit site, the Ian Miles Chong of fucking entertainment, along with Deadline and everything else, that this had a low marketing budget, and when in fact it had a larger marketing budget than the Marvels. Because as Marvel sees it, you don't see it this way, but they do. This is one of their A-list characters. Now, I don't know how that's possible because the A-list character was not in the movie, but they used his name. So that's how they saw it. So they put a lot into this. So they've been lying to you. Even with the bullshit 425 break-even point, that's not true based on the math. For it to break even at the bullshit $180 million budget would be $550 million. But in truth, this movie cost $350 fucking million to make. It needs to make 800 million to $1 billion to break even. They went out and fed this false budget so they can save face. And if it crosses 500 or 426 million worldwide, they go, we made a profit. Our work here is done. And everybody will run with it and go, haha, see, it made money. But it didn't. So Disney, you can continue lying to yourself, and the access media and the Culture Craves of the world, they really want Daddy Corporation at their back. They need that. They need that for validation. That's what a lot of Hollywood is I work for Disney. I work for, I have a job. I have a gig at Netflix now. I remember working at Technicolor, and man, I think people valued their Technicolor work badge more than family members. My very brief time in Hollywood taught me one thing. I fucking hate it there. And I hated it there. I met a couple of real people who were really cool. And you know who you are. But most of y'all sucked. Strategic relationships, transactional relationships. That's what that town's built on. That's what most entertainment's built on. A lot of that shit going on YouTube too, to be honest with you. And I fucking hate it. I fucking hated it. So I left. All right. But Cap for 68% drop. I think that's pretty much what I said on FNT. Like the guys were saying between 65 and 70. I think that's a pretty safe prediction for anything Marvel. It's the third biggest drop in its history. And tickets are more expensive now. Fewer are being sold. Even if you compare it to Quantum Mania, fewer tickets are being sold. Fewer tickets are being sold in Hollywood. It is down, according to these same access media websites, 40%. 40% overall ticket sales are down. Theaters are struggling right now. Are struggling. And I don't want the movie theaters to go away. I don't want them to die. I like going to movies. I do. Quite a bit. Inflation is going to take a minute for inflation. You can't like get rid of inflation in a month. I love these people are like, oh my God, egg price. I was fucking that fucking idiot on. What about the egg prices? Like, where were you fucking 4 months ago when the egg prices were just as expensive? And then the guy's like, I don't even buy eggs. Oh my God. I'm like gay. I'm like, well, the fucking Golden Gate Bridge behind you gave it away. That's a joke I was about to say and didn't on Piers. But I forgot to share that. I got to share that. My Mohammed Superstar. I want to start Mohammed Superstar. All right. But yeah, they never found a way to criticize Biden, but now they're all anti-government now. Well, thank you for taking 4 years off. Or don't think. Hope you're all having a fine day. While I look for what I had up before. There we go. So The Cleaner. Daisy Ridley's The Cleaner. I will be reviewing it. I've tried to watch it a couple times, and I keep getting interrupted. I will be doing a full review of Daisy Ridley's The Cleaner with Chris Gore on Wednesday. You're like, what? Well, the massive movie star, Daisy Ridley, that they're bringing back for the Star Wars movie, the big hit Star Wars movie, came out with a movie. Yeah. That's right. Yes. The Cleaner is DEI hard. Yes, it is. But so is G20. That could be DEI harder. It could be DEI hard and DEI harder. I mean the Star War. Yes, I do mean the Star War. The Star War. Jesus Christ. Aaron Pipes for $5 says, and think how jealous everyone will be your seeing eye Asian. Well, yeah, she's going to have to hear things for me now, too. Wraith Leader for $19.99. Car is about to kick the bucket. What car? But I get to watch y'all. Your car. Okay. Just got paid and have a 2-inch steak. I'm glad he finished that with, I have a 2-inch steak on the grill. So life couldn't be better. That's fucking awesome. Sorry, your car's about to die. Drive them until they die. Drive them until they die. Doghouse Video, thank you for becoming a new member. TJ has been a member for 13 months, says Pantera was a hair band, but they started to, but they made it big. Kind of funny to see. I love Pantera. I liked them as the hair band too. I did. Dimebag Daryl. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. Gary, glad you finally have a live-in caretaker. Is X-Ray Girl going to wear a black Satan-made uniform or a white latex nursing uniform? I have one of each in my closet that I'm sure will fit, says Aaron. That's a thank you, Aaron, thank you, but that is not necessary. Because I have my own here. Kidding. Xavier Hard for $5 Australian. G'day, Al. I went to go see The Monkey last night with a few people and I've never met before. It was good. Very fun. Very funny. Over the top deaths. Good old fun. Cool. It did really well. It's a Gundam. You need different facial expressions of KK to change our behind. Oh, to change behind you so she can react to you. Okay. I was trying to I was repurposing that sentence for it to make sense. But thank you, Cypher, for $5. Michael Brokey for $5 Australian. Hail FNT. I'm almost finished. The Born Again comic run by Frank Miller. Is the D+ show going to try and redo the story just using the title? They're just using the title because the story has essentially been done in season 3. essentially. Man, that is a fucking good run. David Mazzucchelli, fucking genius. DJ for $20. Also, shout out to 3/4 White Garrett. If it wasn't for Crowder, I wouldn't be here. Cheers. Or on Az's. Even if you are super bad at your job and got hired for DEI benefits for Gary's license for my LLC. Why did I say license? Yeah, I mean, he's a great tax break. He's a great tax. Normal World is amazing too. I'll pass that on to Garrett. Garrett's probably listening. Best fucking tax write-off ever. A Billy Bob for $5. You guys need to stream the Yuzaki Simulator trailer. A better game than Ubisoft's. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I don't care. Assassin's Creed Shadows. More historically accurate too. Oh, I like that. Yarmouth for $20. Hail. Here's my personal conspiracy theory. DEI and Sweet Baby Inc. was actually pushed by China. So all the video game companies would fail so China could conquer the industry. It's all a Chinese psyop. Well, I mean, is it a psyop or are all the fucking woke retards just woke retards? Chicken or egg, man. I think I was listening to Ryan on Geeks and Gamers Daily, and I agree with Ryan on most things, but I think where we differ on stuff is Ryan is not as conspiratorial as I am. And I'm going to say something that might blow your mind. I think he's got a more positive view of the world. I'll say a more optimistic, a less jaded one than I do. Because Ryan just assumes everyone's retarded, which, you know, kind of gives him an excuse. And I just assume that a lot of people are retarded, but there's a few really smart, evil people controlling them. So mine's a little more jaded. A little bit more jaded. So I think it could be, yeah, there is social engineering going on. And to say there isn't would be insane. There's social engineering going on. Where does it come from? Oh, I think it comes from China, but let's not sell our government short. You know, we have some people in there that we like who are outside the system, who sound like they're going to do a good job. I hope they do. I'm rooting like hell for them. But prior to 11/5/2024, I would say don't sell our government short on being the ones pushing the psyops. And I think they didn't like the competition from China. Lighthearted. Since you're expert, Shad, QBG, what position is best for maximum cream pie filling? Just trying to keep it wholesome around here, says the Singing Takes for $5. So you're talking about baking a pie, right? We're going to just move on from that. Shad would give you an explanation anyway. Heinefer for $20. Co-pilot was a new hire. Oh, we're talking about the plane crash. Never been an FO before. Sat as a seat warmer, aka flight instructor, 1,250 hours after getting the commercial license. Captain was a company sim instructor doing a currency flight. So was that the Canadian plane that went upside down? Oh yeah, dude, fuck that. Adakmaman reviews for $5. Great news, Gary. It's going to be 30 plus this week in Wisconsin. Time to break out the shorts. Yeah, it actually started warming up as I left. But it was 600 miles straight of snow. Fucking snow. Incel speedrun for $10. Gary, you are the worst creator on this platform. Cheers. You make the same brain rot for years on end. Your fan base is more toxic than Hasanabi. The people who watch you are more senile than Joe Biden. He loves you guys and he loves us. Thank you. I saw a comment pop up last night. It's just like, you know, for my Captain America video. It's like, this guy's just racist. Terrible video. And you just laugh. You just laugh. Yeah. Always a good idea. Like, talk shit about me all you want. That's fine. Never a good idea to go after the audience, bro. You're on your fucking own on that one. Get another name for 1999. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the most expensive film of the 1980s with an estimated budget of $70,180 million. Today, Disney can't make anything for that cost. How far have they fallen? I know Roger Rabbit is fucking an all-time great movie too. Ego Flame, King of the Dragons, has donated $1. Thank you very much. Johnny X1 for $9.99. Love your guys' show. How did you guys hear? Did you guys hear that the mayor of LA fired the chief of the LA Fire Department? Yes, the lesbian DEI chief, but credit where credit is due. She called the mayor out. The minute she did that, she was getting fired. But the mayor looks worse now. The mayor is fucking terrible. You know what Los Angeles is going to do? Vote her back in. I got to admit, I was fucking shocked that San Francisco voted out London Breed. I was like, wow, holy shit. But they did. I mean, lateral move. There's no opposite. There's San Francisco. Well, no, San Francisco's two-party now. It's communist and Democrat. And the communists are gaining ground. But London Breed was kind of a knockoff of, I think, the last of the Willie Brown era politician was gone. She was just an object file clerk for Mayor Edley, who passed away in office, who took over for Gavin Newsom, who was anointed by Willie Brown. And whatever you want to say about Willie Brown, fucked a lot of women, completely corrupt, was on the take. Actually got shit done in the city, though. Actually got stuff done. Did stuff. Jacob Wolf for $5. Is there a chance for comedy this year with Matt Stone and Trey Parker Kendrick Lamar movie and The Naked Gun written by Seth MacFarlane this summer? Maybe. Seth MacFarlane, who I have had a chat with on the phone once, and I liked his Orville show, but man, yeah, like just doesn't get like what's holding comedy back, right? They don't make the correlation. You know, him, Ben Stiller, are like, Trump is a fascist. God, we can't make comedy anymore. We'll find out. I don't think The Naked Gun needed a remake. I think we need an original comedy. But Matt Stone and Trey Parker doing something, I'm fucking there. Opening night. That'll probably be funny. But they're like the saving grace of comedy. They're like the last men standing. The Simpsons hasn't been good for decades. Family Guy. I was honestly like, and I told Seth this. I was like, I was never into those shows. I was never into those shows, man. I like the Orville. I did. Aaron Pipes for $5. X-Ray Girl, you need a nice, fresh armadillo barbecue when Gary gets home. That will finally make him a real Texan. I don't know. I thought don't you get like, what do you catch from armadillos? Hang on. I'm blanking on what you catch from armadillos, but you don't want to. Leprosy. That's right. Leprosy. Yeah, I don't want leprosy. I'm good. Hail the fellowship. Mark Hamill looks like a disgruntled uncle with drinking problem. Elon and Trump need to use the money they saved with Doge to buy the Star Wars IP back from Disney. Trace Ventura for $20. Disney will never, ever sell it. Ever, 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 ever sell it. Never. Companies don't sell IPs because they always like, we can always exploit it at some point. And they don't want to be the guy who sold the IP. On a rare occasion they will, but yeah. I think more people should do stuff with public domain now. Get on that. There's a lot of cool stuff that's public domain now. Google is 26 years old. Holy shit. Yeah, this is going to be the 20th anniversary of YouTube this year. That's nuts. Google being 26 is nuts. I think my Amazon account is from 98. So it's 27 years old. I think I still have an AOL email from like 95. Shit. And Star Wars is going to be 50 in 2 years. Samuel B for $5. Gary, what were the dinosaurs like? Well, okay. Spielberg got it wrong for the most part. They did have some more feathers. They were more feathery. A little gamey, when you ate them, a little gamey. But their turds were fucking nightmare. Sheritard for $2. The Force was not with them. No, it wasn't. Not with his pants. Not with Mark Hamill's pants. No. The Singing Tigs for $5 all motherfucking day. I've been waiting to get home and make a steak. Got home. The fucking thing are expired. I want the world to burn, just like Ryan. Hail FNT. We'll just go to the store and buy a couple more. I mean, like, yes, like wasting food is disheartening and upsetting. Like stuff going bad, wasting a leftover, and I've done it. I don't feel good about it, but it's like, holy shit, that's just money I just set on fire. Roger Sam for $5. With UK laws cracking down on offensive speech, how do the UK FNT members navigate through what you say here without becoming a target? I don't know. I mean, Roger, I know they're cracking down on people. I know they are in Germany. I just don't know like what the context is and how much, because I'm not there. We'll let the British people speak on that. But that's a good question. It's a good question. Elwin MMA. This is 2 parts for 12 euros. The problem with Rachel Zegler is that when she sings beautifully, which makes you mistakenly think that she is a beautiful soul. However, we all know that her heart is black, just like the rest of us. Yes, Ryan, I just called you black. Yeah, and they just came out with a promo that's like, oh my God, we have so much reverence for the original. And Rachel Zegler's like, Disney magic. Oh my God, I love this old movie that I said I hate. Fucking, they know that, like, just like with Captain America 4, they know they have a shit show on their hands and there's nothing they can do about it. Like, Disney made some strides last year with Fox material, right? So Alien Romulus, a movie I did not like, had potential. I like the sets. I like the look. I like the music. Hated the fucking story. But a lot of people liked it. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people liked Prey. I did not like Prey either. I thought Prey was fucking DEI Predator. But a lot of people like Prey. But Alien Romulus, Deadpool Wolverine did really well. Both movies made money. They made progress. They also made progress with Pixar movies, and they made progress, and they're fucking gonna get nailed this year. Nailed this year. Maybe Zootopia 2 that'll probably do pretty good. It's a weird movie that I won't see, but Fantastic Four, who knows? Who fucking knows? Hi, Gundam. Stay golden, Pony Boy. Hell yeah. That's from Rook Takes Rook, the FGC Sensei for 2 Canadian pesos. Brie Larson pepper sprayed a praying Muslim. Wow, Brie, calm down. Hey, don't talk shit about Ryan's girl. No, Ryan's left behind Brie for Sophia from the Penguin. Looking good. Okay. Paul Stramby for $9.99. There's 2 kinds of people in the world: those who like Cobra Kai and those who are un-American. I agree, Paul. You get applause for that. I agree. My 2 favorite things this year so far. One of them is a massive flop. The best movie, I haven't seen many movies this year, and the year is very young. But the best movie I've watched in the theaters this year was Better Man. And it wasn't even fucking close. And I'll even go one further. The effects, the special effects in Better Man are light years better than they are in Captain America 4. Light years better. And you can go, man, Better Man sounds like a fucking retarded movie. And I would agree. It sounded like a retarded movie. But Chris said, no, it's not a retarded movie. It's just, it sounds like a retarded concept. So I'm like, okay, I'll either see a good movie or I can roast it. So I took the wife and we loved it. And I don't give a shit about Robbie Williams. You know what? I know Robbie Williams more for his being into UFOs than his music. He's into UFOs. So I know him from UFO documentaries. He's been in a Jeremy Corbell documentary. He knows George Knapp. You know, that's where I know him from. And the one song, Millennium. Didn't know any other songs in there. It's got a good message. It's got a good message. And that message is overcoming your demons. It's a human message. It's not the message. It's that connecting on a human level. So this is a biopic that could have been completely made up, but the story was good. Story was good. Overcoming your demons. Forgiving people, getting forgiven, forgiving people, and moving on, and winning at life. I like that. After losing for a long, long time. And almost doing the ultimate version of giving up, but surviving that. Like, good shit. Good shit. Grimnack for $10. Zabka deserves an award for that scene with Kreese in episode 6, or season 6, episode 13. My single favorite episode in modern television. It was such a fucking good episode. The last 5 episodes of Cobra Kai are as good as the first season. It's got a really satisfying ending, and I can't wait. You hear me, Jeremy? To binge it all. Because, when Jeremy and I argue about the binge model, it's never about it not existing. It's about it being a good strategy, but Jeremy wants to argue a business strategy. Jeremy wants to argue what he prefers. And my argument was, no, if you want to make this sustainable, you can't drop everything at once forever. That's just not sustainable. Now, you could do it with a cheap show like Cobra Kai, but if you're doing like genre entertainment, you're plopping down $200 million on something you're going to drop 6 episodes on in a weekend, and it's going to be forgotten by Tuesday. That is not sustainable. It's just not. And eventually Netflix will chip away at it. And they have been. They've been splitting up their series into parts. So and that, which is the worst solution of them all, by the way. You go weekly and you can binge it when it's over. You can always binge it. I binge shit all the time when it's over. And that's your choice. When it first comes out, it's all weekly, but when it's done being weekly, you can watch it whenever you want. But if you want to maximize your marketability, your profit potential, and reduce churn on streaming, you release your series weekly over a couple of months instead of people dipping in for a month and then unsubscribing, which is people are getting smartening up to that and doing it. Why I'm right. Now, could I have watched Cobra Kai weekly with 30-minute episodes? That'd be a little rough. There are exceptions. But I did watch Ash vs. Evil Dead weekly with 30-minute episodes and fucking loved it. One of the greatest TV shows ever produced, by the way, is Ash vs. Evil Dead. Ash vs. Evil Dead is the Cobra Kai of horror. It is the show that shows reverence to the characters of the past and introduces new ones that you actually like, that don't shit on. Well, I mean, you shit on Ash. That's kind of his thing, but that don't shit on the legacy at all. And like season 3 is probably the weakest, but its ending is fucking perfect. Perfect. And I wish it got in 5 seasons, but it got canceled. Very sad. The Emperor has no clothes and the Jedi has no belt. Says the Grateful Gamer for $2. Star Wars is dead for $1.99. Sad that kids won't know life before D+ Star Wars. You are correct. Well, I mean, they don't, you know what? They won't know, more importantly, this is something that Marvel better recognize now. Star Trek didn't recognize. Doctor Who didn't recognize. Star Wars didn't recognize that when people were pissed, instead of fighting with them, you listen, because being pissed means they still care. Now you're way past that. Now the kids won't know nor care about any Star Wars and Disney Plus. Means the thing you paid billions of dollars for, you literally killed it. You shit on its legacy. You're the one who destroyed the legacy, not the fucking fans. You hear that, Access Media, you pieces of shit, and why you have to fill all your fucking sites with ads, and why you have to why all the writers are getting fired for AI, because you're a bunch of lying pieces of shit who really didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. Ever. You're a bunch of fake fucking geek girls, fake geek guys who just wanted to write politics, but ended up getting in entertainment and turning it into politics. Like that fat, dumb shit at the Mary Sue, who's wider than she is tall. And when the Mary Sue gets sold for a bag of crisps, shout out to my UK people, you'll know why. Nobody cares. And you helped it. Wasn't the fans. The fans were right. They should have listened to the fans. And for fuck's sake, credit where credit is due, some people at Marvel have reached out to the fans. To some fans. Some are listening. Not all by any stretch of the imagination, but some are. That Daredevil tweet, this fucking Daredevil tweet. Let me read it to you. I'm not going to, I can show it to you. There's a lot to this tweet. And Daredevil could suck. Okay. It could totally fucking suck. I haven't seen it. I want it to be good because I fucking love Daredevil as a character and I adore that show. My rewatch is happening again. It's like Christmas is coming up. I'm like, I can't wait. Here we go. It was a shocking tweet. Okay. But here you go. Like, Marvel, this is what you need to do every single time with everything. With fucking everything. Don't let people talk on the red carpet. I mean, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio have been doing the marketing for Daredevil has been really good. Not going to lie. Nothing shitty being said by any of the creators. I think one of the creators said something stupid about the series, but I mean, he's just being a fucking retard, but he wasn't shitting on fans. Yeah, you could be dumb. I don't care, but don't shit on fans, or don't come out and say, like, hey, I know I'm the character of Daredevil, but it's got I don't want it to be about Hell's Kitchen or devils or blindness. You don't say that, like what Anthony Mackie said about Captain America. But this is it's so simple. Reverence for the past, yet hope for the future. Marvel's television, all new series. And I feel like I'm talking to a retarded puppy that just, that shit's falling down. I don't know what just fell. Something just fell. A retarded puppy who didn't shit on the carpet once. And you're like, good boy. Good boy. Reverence for the past, yet hope for the future. Marvel Television's all new series, Daredevil Born Again, premieres March 4th. That's all you need to do. It's really fucking simple. And the fact that we need to praise them for doing the most basic fucking thing. Instead of saying times are different. Like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, times are different than the times of 2 years ago. And we need new heroes now that look like Freckle Jesus. Like anybody looks like fucking Freckle Jesus. I'm really curious to see what fell. Hang on. It's bugging me. Give me a moment. You know what's worse is when you don't know what it is. I distinctly heard something fall. And I'll probably find it like in a month. It's done that before. It's like I was dusting and it's like, oh, here's Migo Uhura. She was stuck behind Theoden because she fell behind Theoden. And I didn't notice that for months, but something clearly fell over there. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. I have no fucking idea what it is. Like, not a clue. Mark's trousers. That's what it was. Back to this. Cash Patel me outside for 20 British pounds, proper money. Mark Hamill's belt had the same strength as his film career. Oh. Corvette Summer was okay. Kratos El Grados for $5. FMA Brotherhood stuck the landing. Good. Paul Stromby for $9.99. There's two kinds of people in the world. Okay, I read that one. How can you say no women in movies? That would be no Sydney Sweeney, for fuck's sake, says Harukami for 10 British pounds. I don't say no women. Who said no women in movies? Zabka, I read that one. The Emperor, I read that one. And I read that one. Logan Drake, 15. I checked out the new Chinese fantasy movie, Nija 2, in select theaters. Action storytelling, dragons, kung fu as well. Had moments that made me cry overall. Good universal moral story. Highly recommend. Family movie. Saw it twice. Love you all. Oh, okay, cool. And it's called Nija 2. Do I have to watch Nija 1? Nija. Shukashuo. It sounds like that fucking fake Chinese that they were saying in Moon Knight. Nihai Shukashuo. Moon Knight. The only thing the good to come out of Moon Knight. I wonder if I can carry this without knocking it over. No, I can't. Is this. Is the 1/6 scale. That's the only good thing to come out of it. And I say the same for the Flash. Maybe that's what fell over. I got Old Man Batman. And it looks so fucking good. I didn't even put his mask on. I kept the old man Bruce Wayne. It looks great. It looks fucking fantastic. It's the only good thing to come out of the Flash movie. Hot toys. If Phoebe Waller-Bridge gets her hands on Bond, the iconic gun barrel opening will be changed to him getting bitch slapped indie style. Fucking pegged. Ryan Crawford pegged. He will get pegged with that gun barrel. The gun barrel will actually be a fucking strap on. Boink. Moon River. Lone Wolf for $20. Two best Bonds, Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan. Best Bond girls, Domino and Christmas Jones. Oh, I have to think about that. The two best Bonds. I would agree with that. I'm a Roger Moore guy. I love him to death. But those are the two best Bonds. Not going to argue with that. Domino and Christmas Jones. Oh, I'll get back to you on that one. I have to go through the list. Got to go through. What about Solitaire, right? Is that her name? Hang on. Solitaire. Yeah. Jane Seymour, Solitaire. Smoking hot. Smoking hot. You know what? We need the older Bond films in 4K. That's what we need. Make that fucking happen. Can Amazon add Dolly's braces back in Moonraker? Oh, are people convinced they took them out because they thought they were in there, and they cite that as evidence of the Mandela effect? I mean, I thought she had them too, to be honest with you. But it's been a minute since I've seen Moonraker. It's been a minute. I have Moonraker sideshow action figures, though. I got the Roger Moore, and I got Jaws. Skull Eater 2016 for $5. 007 goes to the island. Well, that'd be good. I would be all, and just turns into the Punisher for 2 hours. The titles of the last Brosnan and last Craig Bond movies are basically the same. Yeah, they are. They got really heavy on the die. They got really heavy on the die once they passed the Ian Fleming books. And then they started soft rebooting some of the stories, and yeah. But Casino Royale, dude, that's still one of the best Bond movies ever made. Period. What happened to taking chances and investing in new shit? Oh, yeah, they fired all the talent for old DEI. I like the new DEI. Deport every illegal. Judah. Wow. Okay, there you go. That's pretty funny. Who is everyone's favorite Bond? Mine is Brosnan. Sean Connery. Brosnan, number 2, but it's like 2A and 2B because I love Roger Moore. And one of my favorite Bond movies is a Roger Moore movie. Live and let die. Judah for $5. What happened to taking chances and intervene? I read that one. I just read it too. God, I'm fucking old. Maria, UK for £5 British. Experience is great unless everything they've done in average/crap happened to be taking a chance on an unknown actor whose performance blows your... Okay. Experience is great. And everything they've done happened to be... what happened to taking chances on unknown actors? I'm fine with that too. I'm actually fine with that too. But right now, I don't think you can fuck around, you know? There's something wrong with the Rumble stream. Don't know what's going on. Sorry, Rumblers. Yeah, here, I'll tell X-Ray Girl. Hang on. Hang on just a second. It might be StreamYards. It might be Rumble. I don't know. We're going to continue. But yeah, I'm fine. Is there a chance that James Bond could be good at Amazon? I'd say it's 1%. Not very good, but there's a chance. I mean, Jeff Bezos just greenlit Rings of Power Season 3. Now, Reacher Season 3, off to a very good start. It is, but that's not Bond, okay? It's pretty easy. It's pretty basic shit. Reacher slides in the town, gets in some trouble. That's, I mean, admittedly, pretty contrived, but we still enjoy it. And he goes and beats the fuck out of bad guys. That's fine. That's fine. Neely and her 6 head take a phone call. Somehow she's going to get some. They're giving her a fucking spin-off series. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's fine, but she's not a standout character. Hey, Gary Gundam and the Knights of Friday Night Tights care to bring up how the MCU completely passed up on the Dark Avengers storyline. Hail FNT. And they were leading up to it. Okay, so you have Madam Hydra essentially filling the role of Harry Osborn, right? So Dark Avengers and Dark Reign kind of happened around the same time. And that's what the Thunderbolts should be called. They're more accurate to the Dark Avengers than they are to the Thunderbolts. But yeah, and I think that would have actually. I'm wondering if that's what they wanted the title to be, and then they decided against it. But like it would have done better as the Dark Avengers. It would. But yeah, they completely skip. I mean, listen, Dark Reign was that went on too long. I have every Dark Reign book. I'm a completist. So I have Civil War, every variant, Secret Invasion, every fucking variant, the comic that was actually, it was pretty good. It was all right. Oh God, Ragnarok fucking went on way too long. But Dark Reign went on too long too. I have a long box. So I put my comic book runs that are crossovers, I put them in a separate box, right? It is a long box, and that's just the single issues. It went on forever. I hate to break it to Hollywood, but I don't follow Sydney Sweeney for the movies she's in. Added Clock. That's okay. And we figured, I assumed. Alani of Hyrule for $10 says, for the panel, what's your favorite Disney movie soundtrack? My favorite movie soundtrack is The Lion King, but honorable mention is Tarzan. The whole soundtrack is Phil Collins' best work, Hail FNT. Tron Legacy, Daft Punk. Tron Legacy, Daft Punk. Still listen to it to this very day. Fucking great. Our Robber Ross for £2 Legend for Gattaca. Anyone else seen it? Legend for Gattaca? I've seen Gattaca. That's all that comes up for me. But I've seen Gattaca, and I liked it. Did you all see the Marvel is resurrecting Gwen Stacy and giving her Weapon X treatment? They're calling her Gwenpool. Yeah, I did. We did talk. Maybe I read this one already. Jar War 263 for $4.99. Gwenpool, Spider Gwen, all of that shit is fucking retarded, and it comes from all the work girlfriend editors who are just silly billies. Something your boy Zach used to say, silly billies. And milkshake girls, and it's fucking dumb. And it comes from the era of, oh, let's have superheroes be silly billies and sit around and eat stuff and have fun and like have a text wall of fucking of word bubbles, and it's like, and thought bubbles. It's fucking, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I had the most well-timed relapse of all time when it comes to selling comics, because I wouldn't sell any of this shit. I would refuse. I would be done with new comics. Done. If I open another shop someday, could happen, I will not sell new Marvel and DC comics. I wouldn't even, nope. It'll all be back issues. Will I do some indie stuff? Sure. I'll carry Mark Millar's stuff, maybe. But it'll all be back issues. It'll be what comic stores started out to be. Comic stores did not used to sell new comics. Comic stores sold some fucking, usually a guy who looks like the comic guy from The Simpsons, his collection, basically. All right, well, Rumble changed something. So, yeah, we're just going to be on YouTube for now. Cart Mankey for $4.99. If Marvel used the real Thunderbolts, it could have been the coolest movie in years. Yes. Fucking Citizen V, Atlas, Moonstone, Fixer, and Songbird are fucking awesome. And Baron fucking Zemo, a character that you've established that you managed to not ruin, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier could be in that movie. And he's fucking great. I heard Mahler on EFAP because I listened to they were trying to rank the MCU villains. So we're gonna have to keep out the Kingpin, because despite his destruction in Hawkeye and in Echo, Kingpin was the number one villain in Marvel. Very close second is Thanos. But who's after that? Who are the best villains? Well, Loki from the Avengers, until they ruined him in D+, but Loki was a good villain. The High Evolutionary. You might not have liked Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but he was a better fucking villain than Kang. He is and that is a good villain that they should bring back. It was a legit good villain. And the Red Skull, the fucking Red Skull. You got the Red Skull. Yep. And Baron Zemo. Missed the days where Thor 2 was the worst MCU movie. I know it's not. It is legitimately a better movie than anything. I I would enjoy. Spider-Man No Way Home, I get more enjoyment of, but for a complete superhero movie, yeah, it's not the worst movie. Yeah, people used to shit on the Hulk too. You know, they're not the best, but they are certainly not the worst. I think people still get mad at Iron Man 3, but that is nothing compared to what they've come out with lately. Modern films are not even Gundam's Modern films, not even Gundam's vitamins can make them entertaining. His vitamins. Haha. That's from Fiesta Cat. Ryan Crawford for 19.99 British pounds. Hail. So with the super woke British government announcing massive funds to the film industry and Amazon, I fear Bond is going to go down faster than Hamill's pants. I am so angry. I feel like smashing my loader through a fucking wall. Yeah, it's got no chance. I saw Razor's video, and I think his holdout is to get a video game on it. When that's fine. I just would just fucking shelve it. Don't turn it into a content farm. It's gonna suck. I mean, I fucking love Bond, dude. Been a Bond fan my entire life. That's the genre that movie that my dad would go with me with. He didn't like any fucking sci-fi or any of that what he called space cadet shit. But he would go see Bond films with me. Ryan, thank you very much. Stefan for 15 euros. I'm running a movie theater in Germany. Cat 4 is the worst performing Marvel movie for us ever. Awful pre-sales for next week. General audience doesn't care anymore. I'm worried about FF and Superman. You should be worried about FF and Superman. Yes. Superhero fatigue. Superhero fatigue. People go, no superhero fatigue. There's no, it's just bad movie fatigue. And I mean, yes, for us, superhero fatigue is when a good this is when it hits, and it may never do. When a good superhero movie comes out, a legit good one, and it fails because people are just fucking sick of soups. That's superhero fatigue. That's legit superhero fatigue. Now, we've seen signs. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 underperformed its first weekend, but it had legs because of the positive word of mouth, and it ended up doing pretty decent. Pretty decent. Yeah, Superman will be that will be the test. Because at least DC is starting something that could be new. At least they're doing that. Marvel is playing catch up and they're trying to fix a crashing plane while it's still crashing. They're trying to patchwork the plane that is currently falling out of the sky. And they might be able to do it. But that plane is kind of coming down, whether it's a landing or a crash. It's coming down anyway. I hear Ryan's forehead has 100 neighbor bites of memory. Maybe. Andy Lee for $40. Was Black Panther a good movie, or was it the timing before Infinity War that allowed it to make that much? It was the timing before Infinity War. Black Panther was an established character anyway, like that Marvel fans legitimately liked. It's not just because he was black. Black Panther had been around for decades. Every Marvel comic fan knew who he was. He's a member of the Avengers. His first appearance was in the Fantastic Four. I liked him as a character. I preferred him before they the Christopher Priest run for Marvel Knights is my favorite. But I like the Kirby stuff too, when he was just a regular superhero, before they started doing the African exceptionalism, Afro exceptionalism, with making Wakanda making Wakanda into Asgard, basically Black Asgard, Blackguard, Blasgard. Sherry Tart for $2. Oh my God. Was it Reggie Hunland? The guy who ran BETV, Black Entertainment Television. Pretty sure it was Reggie Hunland. He took Like good stuff from Christopher Priest era and like amped it up to ridiculous levels. So I was not a fan. When Black Panther beat Silver Surfer, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Stop it. Now you're trying too hard. But was it a good movie? I would say it's the highest performing solo Marvel movie. And the marketing was perfect because Disney convinced you that you are actually fighting racism by going to see the movie. But it's not the best Black Panther movie by any stretch of the imagination. He's a fucking guest star in the fucking movie. The best Black Panther movies are Civil War and Infinity War. Those are the best Black Panther movies. Gary, I watched The Gorge based on your recommendation. I really enjoyed the 2 Easter eggs. A fun movie. It's fun. Like it's a streaming movie, so don't expect anything fucking smart or groundbreaking. It's just character driven. I like if that cost money in the theater, I would say, well, wait for streaming. Watch it. It like don't even like it. It passes as like the 3rd tier movie on I would not fucking go see it. Like it passes as a streaming movie. It does not pass as a theatrical release in any stretch of the imagination. I like nerd shit and sports. Come on, you Spurs. We smashed Manchester United wide open. Let's get a trophy. Followed y'all for years. Are you talking? Oh, 5 British pounds. You're talking about soccer. That was a fun game I played when I was a kid. Get little orange slices at halftime. One of my soccer team names was the Mean Green Machine because we had green uniforms. Darth McBee for $5. Laughing at Gary's literacy is really mean. We need to have more empathy for the retarded. That's what I keep saying, Darth, but nobody has empathy for as a retarded person. I agree with you. Hale. It's really nice to see Shad in the group. FYI, you guys see IGN uploaded a BTS of Snow White. The dislike ratio is nuts. Oh, behind the scenes? Yeah, it's a cultural phenomenon. Everybody fucking hates this movie. Everybody hates Snow White. Everybody hates Snow White because of Rachel Zegler. And it's poison. It's poison for the box office, poison for Disney. It's poison for Gal Gadot's career. And Gal Gadot, despite unleashing that fucking horrible Imagine video during COVID. Seems like she's all right, you know? She seems all right. Don't hate her at all. I don't think she has a ton of acting range. Okay? Just going to come out there and say it. Good looking woman. Not a ton of acting range though. But yeah, that movie's going to be a disaster, and I'm going to cover every bit of it because it's culturally relevant. And the most relevant part of it is this is a holdover. This is the Captain America 4 was your hors d'oeuvre. Snow White will be the main meal. That will be the most obvious holdover from an era that went on too long, that has passed. It will be releasing a fucking roller disco movie in 1986. That's what it'll be. Only kids from the 80s will understand my references. Only Generation X will understand that reference. But you'll know. Gundam is here. Let's talk gay rappers. Well, we did on Rumble. That was one of the best episodes ever. Have a good weekend, you figs. 199. Let's go. This is Games for the Win for $10. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah, sorry. Rumble is down. Rumble is gone. So according to X-Ray Girl, our our stream key got changed. I don't even know how that fucking happens, but it happened. Mystery box. Yes, mystery box. Rollerball is always a cult favorite. Well, Xanadu was the best example of like putting out the movie when it was just too late. It was just too late. Yeah, I honestly, it was not us. So I don't know how long we were on Rumble. I just like the error message. I didn't notice it until later. Till later. A little coffee. You know, most of these shirts I wear are from my comic shop days. Like, look at your vintage distressed shirt. It's like, yep. Back when Doctor Who was good. Back when Doctor Who was good. It's getting harder to remember. For Gary, if I wanted to get into Moon Knight, where would I start? I think I read this one. I would start with the Mark Spector run. So you go all the way back to Moon Knight number 1. Well, there's a first appearance, but you don't really. There's a first appearance in Werewolf by Night. And then there's a magazine appearance, but you could just pick up, they're cheaper, the Bill Sienkiewicz run, art run. From the very early 80s, Mark Spector, before the multiple personality bullshit that I don't like. What he was different characters, okay? But he was Marvel's Batman. He was that's, I would say, out of Disney Plus TV shows, biggest disappointment. The one I was rooting for, because I think Oscar Isaacs is fucking a great casting for Mark Spector. But then they went with this modern, and I can't remember the dude's name, but the guy was like legit fucking crazy. I think he was a singer of some neo punk rock band, corporate punk rock band. I forgot what was his fucking name, but he was a legit fucking loon. And he wrote it, and some people liked it. I fucking hated it. I hate it. I hate the multiple personality angle. Fuck that. I like him playing different characters. So I would say bring Oscar Isaacs back as Moon Knight, put him in an Avengers. That's fine. Do it. Don't acknowledge the show at all. Don't acknowledge that retarded fucking show. Yeah, the Moon Knight show was shit, and most of the modern comics are fucking shit. And it all comes from, we now need to, if we have, it sucks to have a mental disorder. It sucks to have depression. It sucks. But like, we can't push the fact that these are, you don't have to do anything about it. Actually, let's praise it now. Let's praise gender dysphoria. Let's push this stuff instead of trying to get people better. And no, not through fucking medication, through lots of hard work and therapy, and there is a way to make your life better. We can't just go, well, no, I've got this, I've got this thing now, and I'm not going to do anything about it. That's fucking nuts. That's fucking nuts. I got this addiction thing. I'm not going to do anything about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be a proud addict. I'm an addict. I am now part of the victim culture. It was society that did this. Oh, shit. Come on. I would like to give a shout out to the U.S.'s oldest resident, 300 years old, and still collecting Social Security after all these years. Shout out. Kobe Gray for $10. Ali Abbasi was one of the directors on The Last of Us, and let me just say, the dude is a scumbag. He didn't try to rub my magic lamp or do me any magic carpet, but he did. But what he did was an asshole. And that's the guy who apparently patted somebody on the ass at a party. That's what he did. Prince Ali Hansi is Ali Abawa. Never mind. That's just from the guy who directed the Trump movie got busted for groping. Snacks for $5. Amazon Brosnan. Pink Eye. Tomorrow never DEIs. Gay marriage is not enough. DEI another day. Those are good. Polysemia for £2 British. Who would win in a sword fight, samurai or knight? Knight. Armor. Remember in season 1 of Game of Thrones, and Jorah is fighting the Dothraki with his armor on and just fucking kills him. He has the Eric and he just fucking, he grabs it with his one arm and he just fucking shanks him. Armor helps. I don't know. There might be some, that's a shad question, but armor certainly helps. But some of those, the samurai swords are pretty fucking good. Pretty good swords. Shindo Versus for $5. Sup, FNT. If y'all are still taking orders, I want a Grimace Shake. I'm looking to get absolutely destroyed today. That's my heart-stopping machine. Man, a Grimace Shake. Were those real? I want to say they were, but I can't quite remember. I couldn't tell you the last time I had McDonald's. I'm going to say 10 years. Got YouTube on my phone, so now y'all are coming with me to feed all my horses coming at me. Ooh. In the freezing cold. Happy Friday. Well, Rachel, I hope you thank you for the $20, and I hope the horses got fed. And after the show, all my co-hosts fed the ducks. Robin Raptor for $4.99. Speaking of Tim Pool, I'm grateful for the one time Gary went on the show. If it weren't for that, I would have never found FNT in the fellowship. Cheers. Thanks, Tim. I love it. The one time. Yeah. I was talking to Brett from Pop Culture Crisis in the DMs because we were talking about Reacher, and I think I'll go on that show. I mean, I'll stream. I'm not gonna fly out there, and that's no offense to anybody out there. I ain't getting in no fucking plane. No, but I'll go on the show. Mary and Brett are fucking great. They're great. Egan the Based for 125 Martian pesos. I try to make y'all laugh with super chats, but I'm just tired. FNT always cheers me up, though, which, not gonna lie, is pretty gay. Yeah, it is. But not as gay as James Bond now. Yep. Southeastern Kaiju for $2. Where am I? What am I doing? Please clap. There you go. JC Chain for $1.99. Never cross the streams. Never do that. Trump slammed the governor of Maine. We're winning. Good. Who's the gay guy? It was everybody except for me. Chad. Everybody except for me. Selly for $2. Did you all see what happened with John Kent in Shazam? I have not. Well, okay. I did hear from Wes at Thinking Critical that they de-aged Jonathan Kent again to the Super Sons age, but his gay boyfriend is still the same age. And like, let me get to what was actually said. That makes it immensely creepier. Hang on. Okay, they aged John down to 9 or 10 temporarily in Shazam 20, and his adult boyfriend is still calling him babe and still calling him babe. Still calling him babe. You know, Hollywood, entertainment industry, comic book industry. If you ever wonder, if you ever just like are self-reflective at any point in your life, not expecting it to happen anytime soon, but if you're ever like by yourself and you're not worried about what people think or not being worried about canceled by your best friends and go, why do we have this reputation of being a bunch of fucking pedo or pedo adjacent groomers. Like, why do we have this reputation? It's shit like that. It's shit like that. Normal, regular people, that includes gay people. Most gay people, most normal, regular people, which includes most normal gay people, do not think that way. Do not think to call a little kid that was formerly your boyfriend babe and shit. So if you ever wonder why Disney as a corporation, the family brand, has betrayed its entire clientele and is desperately trying to right the ship, that's why. Sorry to state the obvious to the rest of you. My apologies. King of Comedy for $5. Would you make a better who would make a better governor of California, Lex Luthor or Wilson Fisk? Than Gavin Newsom? Yes. I'm going to say, you know what? I mean, I was going to side with Lex Luthor, but my mom and my older sister and some people I still quite like live in Southern California. Like, one of my best friends, Chris Gore, so I don't want it to fall into the ocean with nuclear bombs. So I'll say Wilson Fisk. I think Wilson Fisk would right the ship pretty quick. And if you took a little bit on the side, that'd be no different than fucking the governors there now. Lion Main Man for $5. Guys, rate your review on Rotten Tomatoes for Captain America Brave New World so you can teach Marvel and Disney a lesson. Go to Criticalist and do it. Criticalist, we need to get traffic to Criticalist so we can have it as a real alternative to Rotten Tomatoes if you so choose. If you don't want it, that's fine too. The only thing I go to Rotten Tomatoes for is for anecdotal evidence and TV shows. You can't really go to the movies. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Marvels has this exact same audience score as Captain America 4, which is 80%. And both of them are flops. Captain America 4 is a flop. What's the definition of a flop? A movie that doesn't make money. It also has other definitions too, which is a movie that is seen wildly as not successful in telling a story. That can also fall under the definition of flop. But the true definition of flop is it didn't make money. Captain America 4 is not going to make money. Not unless something unprecedented happens and it starts blowing up and becoming the number one movie in its third week and reverses the 68% drop, which is going to drop even further. It's already happening. It's already happening right now. Keep an eye on the per theater. What's it making per theater now? Let's go to the numbers. God, my neck fucking hurts from driving. By the numbers. Let's see what the per theater total is. By the numbers, if we go to Captain America Brave New World, a 68% drop off. Do we have, we won't have today's totals. Oh, wow. Well, this tells it. Every picture tells a story, don't it? Every picture tells a story, don't it? To all the people who really wanted us to be wrong about this. And listen, I don't, if this, even with the same quality, if it made $1 billion, I wouldn't be trying to tell you it flopped. I'd be all, well, obviously, the movie I did not like was liked by a lot of people. Okay. Like I said, Alien Romulus, a lot of people like that movie. I did not. And it's okay to like it. Let's see where we are. February 23rd, 82%, 54%. Yeah, I'm not going to know till tomorrow, but we'll start keeping an eye on that per theater average when it hits the weekdays. When it hits the weekdays, it'll not surprise you at all. I remember Az and I were reading it. Az was reading them off, and it was like the Marvels is making $250 per theater. But let's take a look at this. Every picture tells a story. Well, that ain't good. That sure as hell ain't good. That is fucking terrible. There we go. Boop. Oh, look. Oh, now it's below the little wavy. It is on track to do a lot less than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which is widely considered an absolute flop and a failure. But if people want, like I said in the last Nooner, there are some content creators out there who are just going to like the things the people they don't like. I'll repeat that. There are content creators out there who are just going to like the things people they don't like. And I honestly cannot think of anything gayer than that. Like, John Waters movies are not that gay. RuPaul's Drag Race is not that gay. Glee is not that gay. Your average British television show is not that gay. Pride Month is not that fucking gay. WG for $25 gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you, brother. And Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership. Perry Chan is an absolute menace, and it's a miracle that man isn't on some kind of watch list. Well, he is in his home country, and we have a way to smuggle him out, though. We have the Canadian Railroad. We're only saving base Canadians, by the way. You know, the rest of y'all, fuck them. You're on your own. You Trudeau voting mofos. But for the base Canadians, we will find a way to save them. We will. Legit, should we be considered the best-selling? Should we be considered that the best-selling games, cartoons, and comics are Eastern? Even manhwa is doing better than comics. Yes, they are. They're all doing better than comics. But God, if they I don't know why there hasn't been a bigger effort to translate French comics. Maybe they just don't feel like it's gonna translate. But Garth Ennis wasn't wrong. We got stuck in the superhero thing, and we never really evolved out of it. And they tried, but they just, American comics got stuck in the superhero thing. There still should be Western comics and Roman comics and, fucking like 70s heavy metal, sci-fi fantasy blend, there should be that. And you know what? There is in the East and in France. Peanut Ronan for $5. Be sure to check out the Yosaki Simulator game launching same day as Assassin's Creed Hates Japan. Assassin's Creed Hates Japan. Add it to the Steam wish list and share the love. Down with the Ubisoft. Broken Tweed for $1. Hey, y'all. Thinking about shows that stick the landing. I'm on the fence with our Ronald D. Moore's Battlestar Galactica. Thoughts? I thought it stuck the landing. I did, but I know people will disagree. I actually am totally okay with that ending. I, as a matter of fact, love that they took this super grounded scientific TV show. They removed all the aliens, but they brought in God, and it wasn't some alien. God existed. So I think that's what pissed a lot of people off, is that he really went into the theologian side of it. And I'm like, I kind of like that. That was different. Now I said this before the remake came out. Battlestar Galactica conceptually is one of the best sci-fi shows ever conceived. And I made the original version. And I would love to see somebody take a very earnest take at that. Listen, I fucking Ronald D. Moore's Battlestar Galactica, I was convinced I was going to hate it. I was at fucking Comic-Con before the show came out when Edward James Olmos said, "Oh, if you like the old one, you're going to hate this." That's what he fucking said. And I'm like, well, then I'm going to fucking hate it. So I refused to watch it when it first came out. Then I had a customer came in. He's like Matthew Hammond with Stargate. He's like, you got to watch this, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's so good. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch it. So what he did was he burned it on a CD-ROM for me. And I sat down and watched it. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. That miniseries, you know, before Bear McCreary came on to do the music, the music was done by Ribs, the old keyboardist from Oingo Boingo. So I'm like, all right. So I was fucking blown away, and I was like, I was all in, and then just addicted to the show, and it was must viewing, and I fucking loved it all the way through. Great show. Great soundtracks. That's why it's like so disappointing. You got Bear McCreary doing this fucking Rings of Power. It's like that guy was dude did such a good job on the Battlestar Galactica soundtrack. It's so fucking good. It's so good. The Liberation Army orders from Gundam the following: 20 million double quarter pounder with cheese. McRib used as top and bottom bun, topped with chicken nuggets and sweet and sour sauce, 10 million medium fries, and 30 million large cups of liberal tears. Rest in peace, 007. Yeah, Gundam's mic sounded like a drive-through order. That's why. Hi, everyone from Jersey in the UK. Gary, your Riddler light has fallen. No, I put it on its side on purpose because it kept falling. So I just put it on its side on purpose. All right. How's everybody doing? I love BSG. It is fucking Shakespeare compared to the shit we got now. Wish it was in 4K. I sincerely do. All right. We'll get as much of this as we can. Then I have to take off to do a video. Okay, so Real BBC. Correcting as on Rivals, it was the Seattle support team that was fired. Core team is intact. Sure, it's not great, but it's the headlines that are misleading. Yeah, I think they fired a bunch of fucking non-binary dumb shits from Seattle. Nothing of value was lost. Gary, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. That is a masterpiece. That is a masterpiece album, 100%. Actually, Pink Floyd has a couple masterpiece albums. Dark Side of the Moon's a masterpiece too. And The Wall is a masterpiece. Is Animals a masterpiece? Yeah. Savvy's Musky Armpits for $10. Someone clipped that with Obi-Wan using the Force to open an automatic door. I like metal too. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but I like metal. First time catching Real BBC Live. All four of you are awesome. Thank you, Travis. Greetings, Gary. Is your book out and how to buy it? It is. I'm about to sign off on it. I have about another. The last third to go through. I went through most of it. I really didn't listen. I could fuck with it till the end of time, but it needs to come out. So there's one change. There's one change that I wanted to make, which is somebody's name. Because we changed all the names. We took some artistic license. We combined a couple of characters, and we definitely changed everybody's name to protect the innocent and the guilty. Okay. But yeah, I think we're done waiting on the art. So I sign off on it either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then we're off to the races. Then I'll be able to give you a date on when it we'll do a. I got to talk to Eric about this, but I would like to do through Ripasend a limited pre-sale, and then it's going to be available everywhere. But with the limited pre-sale, I'll like sign the books or something. I'll do something different. But like I'm going to have to pay for all the printing for the limited pre-sale. So that's why it's limited. So I'll let you guys know, but thank you for asking. It's coming up. I would say April-ish, May-ish, June at the latest. It's supposed to be out in February, but crazy shit's been happening. For Cannibal the Dragon, thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate it. Thank you, Cannibal the Dragon. Where are my hose? Where are my shoes? It says where are my shoes, but the way it's all spelled in one word, but it's separated with hose. I think where are my hose is a better name. Where are my shoes? Where are my hose at? Bridget Jones 4 just destroyed Cap 4 over the weekend. It's almost like people wanted to watch a chick flick on V-Day. It's also the first time a Marvel has not gone straight to number one. There you go. Well, maybe he should have been Falcon and not Captain America, because he's not Captain America. Fern Douglas for $5. Mauler, we need more Americans on EFAP. You already have Rags saying mate. Way more than the average Arkansas. What the fuck is it Arkansas? Am I close on that one? Pretty soon he won't even sound American. I'm saying mate now too. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Fern Douglas for $5 more. To the guy reaching 30. I know country music isn't popular anymore, but Merle Haggard's 30 Again is one of my favorites. Make the most of it. Old country music fucking rules. Merle Haggard rules. Watching The Prisoner as a kid helped me prepare for lockdown measures against, amongst other assaults on our freedom and individualism. A must-watch show, an absolute must. War Van Eagle TV. Watch The Prisoner. I've got the Blu-ray box set. Wish they could do a 4K on that one. They did that all in film. Andrew Valdez for $4.99. For me, season 5 was really garbage, and I just kind of left. But hearing that season 6 is good, I might go back. I don't know. Oh, Cobra Kai season 6 is great. Gary, did the Cobra Kai finale make you excited for the movie? No, not in the least bit at all, because it's no Johnny Lawrence. I worked on the film, on a fan film, Power of the Daleks. Worked on sound design, music for Big Finish. Who? I'd absolutely reboot Who with a darker tone direction. Really enjoy your channels. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I mean, I would. What would I do to reboot Who? Oh, reboot it? Well, I would wipe shit from canon, because there's a lot of canon that I love, but for me, it ends with the 50th anniversary. That's me. As like says, do you regret having Gallifreyan on your? No, not at all. Not at all. Because I'm forever a Doctor Who fan. Forever. Just like I'm forever a Star Trek fan. And forever even though Doctor Who like went back and fucked with its own story, but I just completely reject it. And guess what? So does the vast majority of the Who fandom. And to all you Who channels and shills out there who really towed the line for the BBC until you just couldn't tow it anymore, I fucking told you so. I don't say that very often. From the company that brought you and who still to this very day call me a Nazi. From the company that brought you sustained fire in space. Yes, Alex Belfour. Oh my God, the fucking cope on Twitter over that. There could be fire in space. No, there can't. Well, there was fire in Star Trek. It was stupid then. And I pointed it out. What about exploding ships? There's still oxygen coming from inside the exploding ships. But if you watch some of the Enterprise crashes, like it's not perfectly accurate, but if you watch the Enterprise destruction in Star Trek 3, you will see it immediately goes out. Flame comes from in the ship and it immediately goes out. And they knew that back then. That was Industrial Light and Magic, by the way, and they were actually fucking good and run by George Lucas. But no, there is sustained fire in Picard season, was it 1 or 2? And I fucking called it out for an entire live stream. You can have fire. It's fucking crackling. It's blowing in the wind. It's a vacuum, you retard. I've been kicked out of 3 high schools and I know that. Look up Mark Hamill's pants falling down. I don't want to look it up anymore, but I made a video. Shout out to all I met at MegaCon. Hail the fellowship. Darf, glad you made it. I'm sorry I did. I truly am sorry I missed you guys. I am. Doctor Who season 3. For me, Jacoby as the master in it at the and that season is a win for me. That is my single favorite moment in Doctor Who. That is my single favorite fucking moment in Doctor Who. That and but if you want to talk about single moment lead up, the return of a major villain, the music, what was going on around them, what the master was fucking, what he did afterwards is horrifying. But that lead up is, dude, it's awesome. I go back and watch it. It is so fucking good. That is how you fucking bring back a character. Holy shit, that was good. Utopia is the shit. It is such a fucking good show. And as crazy as the master stuff, I fucking love. I vote Saxon. I love it all. Martha was kind of my favorite companion. Her and Amy of modern era. I like Rose too. I think Rose is all right, but I like Martha. Martha was hot. Martha is hot. But fucking Utopia is so goddamn good. The Prisoner is amazing. Individual versus the machine. Yes, War Van Eagle. I mean, it's so it's relevant for today. Can't believe Beth Alice Kane isn't on this TV performance list. Who else could deliver the monologue about being trapped in a basement for 10 years? Well, that list was by a bunch of fucking retarded interns. I need some toast for all the butter that's on Sydney Sweeney's face. Oh, come on. She is hot without makeup on. I think women are better looking without makeup on. Personally, I don't mind it, but where Air Gold? Saul Goodman, top 10. Where's Ari Gold? Yeah. Oh, it says where Air Gold, but it's supposed to be Ari Gold. Saul Goodman, not in the top 10. No, it's not. It's fucking ridiculous. Speaking of makeup, I was watching Adrian Curry's stream at the gym. And it's so funny because she's fucking based as hell and she's breaking down politics. And then she tells you how to apply eyeliner. So I know how to do that too. Tube Tester 57 for $5. First super chat. Spidey comic with Silver Sable. Fight night with Skull Helmet, Laser Lance, Winged Horse. What was this issue? Used to own it, can't find it. Silver Sable with a skull, Silver Sable with the Skull Helmet. Was that amazing? I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head. There was a time I probably could have. Dun, 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 dun. It's just pulling up the McFarlane stuff, but that's not it. It's not 321 because she doesn't have a skull helmet. Maybe the chat knows. Anna de Armas is better looking than Sydney Sweeney. I would agree. But I could have well, I'm married, so I'm not going to be in bed. But like theoretically, none of you would throw them out of bed. Let's go. That's a good description, but I am not seeing anything, and I need time to think about it. Well, you know what you need to do is give me an era. Tell me when. 90s? It's probably 90s. Lots of Silver Sable in the 90s. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see it. But you know what? I'm going to look for it now. Okay, Aaron Pipes for $5. Bugs Bunny performed at the Hollywood Bowl. Jeremy really is more Amish than X-Ray Girl. Yeah, like Jeremy's like, I don't know what the Hollywood Bowl is. Like, oh, fucking Lord. Hollywood doing Muhammad Superstar might hit too close to home with marrying a 6-year-old. Says Iron Bean for 5 British pounds. Cynthia to play Jeebus. And they both had trouble with nails. Oh. How are they going to harvest and manipulate adamantium from a celestial? It's indestructible. Why wouldn't it liquefy form? Well, here's the question I have. And listen, it's been a minute since I've watched The Eternals. So I was listening to, I was listening to EFAP, Adam and the Antiums. I see in there. I was listening to EFAP, and they're like, yeah, we got to get the adamantium from Tiamat. It's like, was it Tiamat turned into marble? I'm pretty sure Circe turned Tiamat into marble, right? Was I wrong about that? Maybe I was. Are the super chats 50% from Brits? Well, the exchange rate is great, homie. But no, they're mostly from Americans. I do have, like legit, I have a really, much larger than, according to my YouTube partner manager, a much larger than average audience in the UK. Probably has a lot to do with Doctor Who and Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings and being a fan of James Bond, whatever the reason. But I love my Brits. Love my Brits. I give them a lot of shit. They give me a lot of shit for mispronouncing twat. And I'm just going to keep saying twat because it'll piss them off. And then I'll microwave my tea and I'll call the game soccer and not give a fuck. But I love them. Cheers. I also grew up on a lot of your television. That had a lot to do with it. All right. We're almost done here. As I missed you. Wait, never mind. Gary, I missed you on Friday. Scratch that. Mahler, I missed you. No, not that either. X-Ray Girl, I missed you on Friday. Oh, forget it. Pearl Harbor sucks. That's the good old gravy for $9.99. Gary, please play Mines of Moria. You'll love it. I'll probably play that. I have it. I don't get the black cape hate. Didn't we see Steve give Sam the shield? How come folks did not lean into that? Well, there's no capes. Oh, cap. Okay. Black cap hate. Why did I say cape? It's because it's hand-me-downs. Because the reason they did it is because they wanted a black cap. It wasn't a story-driven reason. It was, we want a black Captain America so we can play identity politics and in our superhero movie, and we could show that we could bring up themes of racism, because every time we have a black star in something, we have to bring up racism all the time, because that's all we ever talk about is racism all the time, and we can't see them as fucking individuals. And that comes from the Democratic Party's mentality of wanting to keep people on the fucking plantation and fighting collectivism and fighting oppressors versus oppression, the oppressed, and fighting Marxism, fighting fucking woke, because they want to keep you on the fucking plantation. We need a black nuclear family. We need to give them hope. You know, the one thing I observed in prison, a lot more black people. And you want to know why? Well, is it systematic? Is it the system? Is it their families? Is it the lack of fathers? The answer is yes to all of that shit. And we're never going to figure it out if they're always going to be like, it sucks. I don't know what it's like to walk a fucking inch in your shoes. I have no fucking idea, but life sucks. Life isn't fair. And you're not going to get better until we start having real conversations about this shit. Is it environmental? Sure. Is it economic? Yes. Is there a lack of fathers out there? Abso-fucking-lutely. Has all to do with it, because there's kids out there that are being wasted, put through a fucking meat grinder, sent to prison all the fucking time because they don't have any hope. And you know why they don't have any hope? Because in a lot of cases, their fucking parents are telling them you don't have a chance, or the system, or fucking the Democratic Party, particularly. A lot of people out there calling you marginalized and saying you're never going to make it. You don't know how to use a computer. You don't know how to use a fucking phone app. Yeah, no wonder why they feel that way. The whole fucking system's telling it, no, you need to vote for us, and we'll be the ones to help you. We'll give you welfare checks. We'll put you in the shittiest parts of our city. You know, these are conversations that need to be had. I don't know how, because they're afraid to have those conversations, because there's also a bunch of fucking race grifters who want keep this train going. Go look at Al Sharpton's apartment. Mr. Oppressed Al Sharpton. You're individuals. You're not on a level playing field, but that doesn't mean you can't make it. It's not 11. It wasn't a level playing field for me. You don't hear me fucking bitch about it. You don't know what, because I knew it. Now, there's a huge difference between like being born that way and being put in that situation, but a lot of poor white people too. A lot of poor, uneducated white people. You know who gets a lot of shit these days? Poor, perceived, uneducated white people. But it's just people. You're an individual. Okay? Fucking A. So we're not going to solve any problem until we start sitting down and having like these real conversations. What I observe. But I'd say the commonality in prison was, from all fucking races, was you grew up without there's exceptions to every rule, but I would say the commonality is you were either abused as a kid, or you just grew up in fucking harsh circumstances. You didn't have a stable family life, be it no dad, or abusive dad, or abusive mom, or fucking divorces all the fucking time. And that is a common theme through every fucking race in prison. You know what you don't see a lot of in prison? A lot of fucking Asian people. I don't think I saw one. I mean, they're there, but I didn't see one. Saw a lot of Native Americans, saw a lot of Indians. I hung out with them, actually. They were kind of fun. They were cool. But I hung out with like well, there's groups, but I hung out with normal people in there, like who didn't have like lifelong sentences, and you know, might have just had a drug problem or something like that. I didn't hang out with any fucking gang members or any fucking stupid fucking Aryan fucktards who are like the most duplicitous pieces of shit in there. Yeah. Hung out with the Indians, hung out with some vatos. We played dominoes, watched football. It's fucking, a lot of it was just boring. I got really good at dominoes. I was the 1993 minimum security, Folsom Camp minimum security dominoes champ. That's right. I also won the racquetball tournament. I think I still have my certificates. But yeah, I was beating black dudes at dominoes. I was. They're really fucking good. They slam it though. Like I they do the bow. I don't do that stuff. I did like a white boy. Prove it. Well, it's been about 30 years, but I can. The trick to dominoes, new master, is when you're playing multiple people, it gets really easy to figure out if you can deduce numbers. It's kind of like if you're playing blackjack with your friends, a lot easier to play it than when you're playing it in Vegas with the dealer, right? But you can start to figure out once you get deeper in the game, who's got what by what they're playing and what's left. It's just a game of numbers. That's all it is. Dominoes is fucking awesome. FNT Dominoes night. I'd have to get a little practice up because it's been decades since I played, but I'm sure it's like riding a bicycle. It's like riding a bicycle. Dominoes is fun. Good game. Good game. Average IQ is 86. Where? In prison? I mean, I probably brought that down. I probably brought that down a little bit. Yeah, you know what? My autistic mind used to work a little better. It does for certain numbers. That's why I was really good at being a parts guy, because I can remember numbers. Once I started, once I went by them 2 or 3 times, boom, it's in my head. So okay. So Acura Integra brake pads. God, I can't remember now. I used to be 45022 SD4 AL1. That is front brake pads. I still remember front brake pad numbers. Sold so many of them. 45022 SD4 AL1. Let's fucking go. Ha. Yeah, baby. Rain Man. That's right. Okay. I mean, it probably changed it by now, but that was the same for ever. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. And sorry, Gary, I was waiting for Nerdrotic. Did we find out what happened to Jon Snow and who wrote the pink letter? Also, does Sir Barristan win Marine? Okay, you know what? I should actually put that in my book at the end. So we'll end it with there. What are my theories on Jon Snow? I know I listened to Preston Jacobs, biggest fan of this channel, by the way. Absolutely loves Nerdrotic. Huge fan. Massive fan. I listened to his take on stuff, and he comes from a very dude's an atheist and a bit of a nihilist. So he takes it from he doesn't like the magic part of it and stuff. That's the shit I like. I think he's dead wrong. He doesn't think there's any magic in Game of Thrones, despite there being dead people walking around and fucking shadow babies and shit. Like, I like that his take on like it's an old science fiction world. It's just an old science fiction world. But he wants Jon Snow to die. I think the only way. Okay, the book's not ever going to get done, but if it got done, George wanted to not usurp. He wants to subvert the tropes of Tolkien. But in the end, if you want a satisfying ending, you still need a hero to win. Now, what happens to that hero afterwards? What makes it bittersweet? Well, we saw it in the show. I think that part of the show is absolutely real. Jon is going to be the reverse Azor Ahai, and instead of sticking the sword in the woman he loves to save the world, to go on and then conquer the bad guys, he has to stick the sword in the woman he loves to save the world from her. So he's still the hero, and he still gets banished to the wall, which is actually a happy ending for Jon. He doesn't have to be fucking king. Kings are terrible. I think Bran was always meant to be king. They were setting him up to be king. but a lot of people, like George is definitely a leftist. George is definitely probably a socialist, but George also he's also an old nerd. So that's where he still needs to have a hero beat the fucking White Walkers. There needs to be a big battle. That's what he's been setting up. And there still needs to be retribution for the Red Wedding, which he's been setting up. The North remembers, and it's going to be fucking brutal. And like, they're clearly setting it up and wins a winner. And I like how they're setting it up. I love Theon's story is unbelievable. Loses his fucking dick, loses everything. And he's slowly starting to turn into Theon again. And it's fucking cool. It's fucking cool. I think Theon shit is some of the best shit and wins a winner. Where does Sir Barristan win Marine? He wins Marine and he dies as soon as Victarion fucking hits the ground. That's my prediction. They're setting it up. They're setting it up for Sir Barristan to die because Dany's going to start losing all the people around her. She is. And Victarion's going to make it there. Now, I love Victarion. I fucking love Victarion as a character. Not a good guy, but nobody is. But he's got the Red Priest who's completely using him. And Victarion's going to die too. You know, Victarion's always asking the Red Priest, like, what do you see in the flames? I see, I'm going to paraphrase. He's all, I see your glory. You know what glory is to a Red Priest? Burning up in a fire. So he's going to die. So Sir Barristan dies, but he wins the battle. Dany returns with the Dothraki. Who wrote the pink letter? Who wrote the pink letter? That's a good question. I don't think it wasn't Ramsay. It wasn't Ramsay. My thoughts on that have changed a lot, but I think it's a complete inside job. That's what I think. Complete inside job. Total setup. Now, have I told you this? We'll end on this. I knew what happened to Jon Snow, but I did not read. I waited. I did not read the Jon Snow chapter because I was like, I'll read it when Winds of Winter comes out. I don't want to read this chapter. I like Jon too much. I'm not going to read this. And I didn't read it until like 4 years ago. I read the whole book multiple times and skipped that last Jon Snow chapter. I knew what happened in it roughly, but I finally read it 4 years ago when I realized, oh shit, Winds of Winter's never coming out. I don't know. Not Gordon Ramsay. No, Ramsay Bolton. It wasn't Roose either. No, I think that the pink letter came from Castle Black. Okay. There's also possible Stannis or somebody from Stannis, maybe. Fucking Stannis is the fucking man. He's a terrible person too, but oh yeah, I don't think Melisandre is resurrecting Jon at all. I think Jon dies and gets resurrected by Lady Stoneheart. Lady Stoneheart passes her flame of life into Jon, and Jon becomes a fire white, but a different kind of fire white because he's got Stark and Targaryen blood flowing around in those veins, which matters, especially that Targaryen blood magic blood. Everyone's a grade of evil. Like, okay, you say Game of Thrones fantasy is like 40K. Everyone's a grade of evil, but there are good people but who are forced to do bad things, right? Like Brienne of Tarth is not a bad person. She's not a bad person. Ned wasn't a bad person. But it's always like that. Like good Barristan's not a bad person, but it's good men in the service of bad people. It's something they even address in the book. Hodor was good. Poor Hodor. Where'd your chat go? Sir Davos isn't a bad person. Stannis is a bad person, but I like him a lot. He's a very bad person, but I like him a lot. All right. And the Hound will be coming back. Well, I mean, nobody's coming back, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms is coming out this year. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will thank you for John Watery for gifting 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Yeah, I would love for When's a Winner to come out. I would do chapter readings. We'd break down every chapter. I'd do a book club, everything. It's just not going to. It's not going to. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will see you next time. See you next Monday. We'll be back tomorrow on Az's channel for The Real BBC. Wednesday, Chris and I will be reviewing The Cleaner and talking about all kinds of other stuff. And then Friday Night Tights, we have Nick Freitas. Nick Freitas. Not Nick Fuentes. Nick Freitas. And yeah, we'll have some videos. And around the corner, Daredevil is around the corner. Daredevil. 1923's out. Cobra Kai's out. Reacher's out. Lots of stuff. So we're finally getting some entertainment again. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everybody who hung out. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.